Hi, I'm Carlos Coronado. Welcome to the second tutorial on the Infernium modding tools. And let's actually, in this one, take an overview of the tools themselves. So in the folder of Infernium modding tools inside your game, you'll have the project that I really advise you to copy somewhere else. As I told you in the first video, I have also actually copied in the mods Infernium modding project. Then you have a folder with a little tutorial on how to set up step by step in images the modding tools, and then a little readme telling you, hey, copy the project somewhere else please, and some info with video tutorials, the wiki, and some tips and info. Okay, so the important thing is the project. So let's open the project and let's take a look at the files contained in the project. Oh my god, I love that launcher splash image so much. I think I'm gonna marry it. Okay, we are here in the project, and the first thing we're going to do is, you remember, we changed this to Hello World mod. If you haven't done that yet, it will say My Mod Content. Okay, so let's actually take a look at here. So if you click File, Open Level, okay, you will get here, and in the Content Maps folders, you will see the maps. See, these are all the maps included with Infernium. But we're gonna, before even we open a map, I want to tell you how the information is browsed in Infernium. So I have made some tools here in the content browser that it's called Modding Toolkit, and you will find some assets like this ash, and here assets that are actually like static meshes, some materials, columns, things like this, some assets for the blueprints, some planes, and these are you use assets that act like Lego pieces. So it's a really easy way to just grab some of these assets and start making models with them. Another important folder is actually custom mod content. Here's where you put the content, and the rest of the folders are actually the content of Infernium as I develop it. Okay, the checkpoints, blah blah blah. This all the content in Infernium of all the important things are here in the rest of the folder. But I didn't put in the modding tools the maps themselves of Infernium. Don't worry, you have example maps included, but they're just not the game maps. And it's actually, I had to strip down the content that I don't own, like some IVs, the photo mode, I don't own the rights to redistribute the source file, so it's also stripped down. So yeah, if you find that some of the content is missing, it's because of that. But it's not that much content, to be honest. So let's actually take a look at Infernium. Let's take a look at the maps. So the most important one is the interaction showcase. If you open the map, what we have here? Well, essentially what we have here is an overview of all the possible interactions and actors that the player can interact of Infernium. It's everything here. From the checkpoint to the light system, the infinite lights that recharge, the pits, the items you can grab, the enemies. So the good thing about this level in particular is that you can actually look by yourself how everything works. So for example, I'm going to click play, and now F11. Now we are in game, and just a quick advice: if you want to go fast, you can actually click number 1, and you will make the whole game faster. Like the enemies are faster too. Take with caution, but like you have here like all the doors, in the game, how they work. Like this one, this one, those that come back. Doors that do not come back. No, you have everything actually. You have the elevator there. You want to know how the elevator works? Just take a look at it and just copy the files. The enemies, like this is like just copy and that's it. Okay, I'm going to stop playing. Just take in mind that in Infernium a bunch of things work with something called an interaction actor. So here actually it's 2 actors. Everything is 2 actors actually. Everything you can interact. Like for example, this is the the checkpoint, and this is the interaction actor, this little sphere over here. Okay, just make sure you copy both of them, because if not, they won't unlink and the element won't work. And it's the same for everything. Like it's the same for like you see, for example, dismiss it. These are the one of the rings. Sorry, one of the harvesting fingers you can get, and I have to actually copy both of them. Okay, it's really easy to see which are the actor. You go here and you say interact actor, and pop, you select it. I don't know why the camera does that, but as you see, I have interacted this sphere, and I clicked here, cling, and I have both. I know it's not the most efficient way to do it, but it was done a long time ago, and I just leave it there, to be honest. I'm sorry. So yeah, here are all the interactions, the rituals, everything you can think of. Okay, so next map. The intro map is just a blank map, so the game can compile the main game project, because we need one map. And this is another good one, Mod Asset Showcase. It's just a collection, F11 again. It's a collection of assets of Infernium. These are the new like Lego pieces, columns, bridges, hallways, and you can work with a grid with them, and they work more or less right. Okay, see, see, perfect. Okay, just make sure that when you work with hallways, you put this little fella in the joints. Oh shit! Without these, maybe these ones. And this will make the seam least noticeable. You see the seam there, then you put this here and ta-da, fix it. Yeah, this is game dev in a nutshell. So yeah, it's all the pieces here. You can work with them, with the grid, with most of them. And we also have some clips, some stairs, spoilers alert, if you know what I mean. Some of the assets of Infernium, of the castle assets, some of the stony assets, floors, trees, the boat over there. It's just a collection of assets. You want to search for something, so probably it's here. Oh, we also have some water surface and a lava surface. The player won't die entering these ones. You will need another actor for that one, but we'll see in a second. Okay, so this is an overview of the assets that you can use copy-paste to your own maps if you don't want to make your own assets. That's totally fine. And now let's see the lighting setup. This is actually a really interesting one too. This is actually like a couple of lighting setups that you find all over Infernium. Like for example, this is the usual cave setup. This one is, this decal is blue, but you have the rest of the decals here. Okay, all the colors of the decals. You can make your own new too if you want to. And you also have like the candle, the purgatory candle light setup, normal candle in the floor setup, candle in the wall, and the castle wall, the castle setup. This is important that if you're working with a castle lighting setup, it's important that the walls has this material, because it's going to make the light bounce more. It's a special material I made. Just take that in mind if you're going to work with this light setup. And the rainy castle light setup, it's not that much actually. The rest of them are just variations of these lighting setups. So let's see. Yeah, we entered to the launcher, the mod launcher. These are the one I created in the first tutorial, okay? And this is the interesting one. The interesting one is my first mod launcher. So it's you can actually play this in the game. It's included in the game. It's just a launcher that, you know, it makes a couple of things. Like if you want to make new content, you go here and then you appear in a new campaign on Infernium once you touch this candle over here. If you want to know how to change something in Infernium, you will come here. Don't worry, I make tutorials on how to make those. Oh, okay. But just you know that you have it here. Also remember that I sometimes use the level blueprint. So it's actually a good idea to take a look at the level blueprint. It's not much, but if you want to expand Infernium, you have to do that. If you want to change something, you have to do this and blah 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 blah. Okay, so it's just take a look at the level blueprint. and see how things are done. It's actually true for the interactions. It's not that much, but there are some things in the level blueprint. Mostly this is for the doors and from the elevator. But there's a couple of more things here that, you know, just remember you also have to do this. Okay, so what else? What else? Not important thing. How to make, you know, like another level of Infernium. You have like a new campaign of Infernium. I mean, like you see, for example, this is the objects like in a new campaign. How would they feel? Just most of them I just did it using click and drag from the assets showcase. Okay, this is the exterior, and you have some message here, some advice on how to do things, some gameplay or even design advice. Spend some time doing them, so please take a look if you're interested more in Infernium. The exchanger level, okay, this is the level that when you go through here, then the level here will erase and a new level will be created here for you, which is in this case the separation of the interior and the exterior of the new campaign of Infernium. Now the interior itself is this one here, you know, with one bricky setup that I don't really use that many brick surface in the game. It's a little advice with a little, you know, your win stage and a little secret. Well, I don't really want to show these ones in full, but I'm going to leave the persistent for the end. Okay, this is the purgatory, a new purgatory I made. It's just the same with these are the players' opportunities, the lives. Okay, this is the permadeath state. This is the place where you go back to the game, and here you can see like, hey, you want to make a purgatory? That's how it's done. And also remember to take a look at the level blueprint, because the purgatory does use some things of the level blueprint to take care of the permadeath and blah blah blah. And the most important one is the persistent level. The persistent level is like a container of your other levels. So if you go here, you say, what is this? Oh, it's all the levels all together. Yeah, if you go Windows, Levels, Windows, here, let me just dock this here, please. Okay. If I go here, I can deactivate all the sub-levels of the persistence level. And you can see like, hey, the interior, boom. And here's the interior. Ah, okay. So the interior, exterior exchanger, boom. And then it loaded, okay? Then there's the exterior, so it's kind of like a mess when they are all together here, because the lighting overlaps and blah blah blah, but you only are going to change them one at a time, right? So don't worry too much about it, because the player is never going to see them in game like this. Just also make sure that you take a look at the persistence level blueprints. Not that much, and you can actually copy paste this if you want to make your own, just to say which is going to be the purgatory level when the player lies. This is for setting up the save game system, but don't worry, we're going to see this in detail in the next tutorial. Okay, just blah 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 blah. But yeah, these are the overviews of the modding tools. Then if you feel for it, just go into assets and explore a little bit all the content, see what's in there, what's in there. But yeah, this is the overview of the modding tools, so thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial. Bye!